What is up, you guys? In this video, we will tell you everything you need to know about what it's like to be in prison in Romania. For those of you who don't know, Andrew Tate, his brother Tristan, and 2 men and women were arrested in Romania on December 29, 2022. They are being charged with human trafficking, rape, and starting an organized criminal group. In the first instance, the judge decided to keep them in jail for 30 days as a safety measure to make sure they don't leave the country or try to change what the witnesses say. But after a few days, the judge actually decided to add another 30 days to the time of arrest. Now we know that it took longer than expected to record and upload this video, but this is mostly because we wanted to research from the perspective of someone who had actually been there and could tell us what it was actually like. So, we were able to research a man who had spent 5 years in prison in Romania. Let's find out what he has to say. Here are the top 7 things you need to know about the prisons in Romania. First off, at number 7, cell phones. You are not allowed to have a cell phone in a Romanian prison. However, a lot of inmates actually do, and they use them in secret. It seems like the most common ways to get a phone in prison are to bribe a guard into letting you use one, or to buy an expensive phone from someone who already has one. In fact, some of these cases have been covered by the news. You're gonna see that some prisoners have actually broadcast themselves live from their jail cells on Facebook. Number 6, the black market. Even though alcohol and drugs are not allowed in prison, there are plenty of them on the black market. You can get in touch with them as long as you have money. Also, it looks like these illegal businesses are being run from inside the prison by other prisoners. Pills, cannabis, and man-made drugs are the most common types of drugs in prison. Number 5, suicides. The suicide rate in Romanian prisons is actually 0.8%, which means that between 30 and 40 people kill themselves every month, or about 160 people every year. It sounds crazy, I know. But there are a lot of other countries, like Albania, Spain, and Portugal, where things are actually even worse. Also, it is important to note that the occupancy rate in prison is between 140 and 150%, which means that the cells are always too full. Number 4, no special treatments. People with money do not get treated differently in Romanian prisons. Taking advice from the man who spent 5 years in prison in Romania, he said that money won't help you very much in prison. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have money, you can actually buy alcohol, drugs, the best food, and maybe even a cell phone. But it won't change the way people live, and the living conditions will always stay the same. Adding to this, he says that you can't get a better cell or a better bed, which means that in prison, the best thing that your social status can get you is a spot in a cell with people who are on the same level as you. For example, if you're rich, you might stay in a cell with some other rich guys. Number 3, the furniture. The furniture is actually very old, and most of the time, you can see that there is rust covering the beds already. Some of the furniture pieces were made 30 or maybe even 40 years ago. And as you might guess, the situation is as bad as it can get. Even more so when you have to share a bathroom with 20 other people and live in a cell with them. Now, if you watch all the way to the end of this video, we're gonna be showing you some actual pictures of the real prison conditions so you can see what we're talking about. Alright, so let's discuss the worst thing about prison, which is number 2, the food. From what we know, the food is made in these big metal pots, and it's just not appetizing, nor edible at all. However, most inmates receive packages with food from their families, or they simply buy things from the prison shop. Yes, you heard that correctly. At number 1, we have the prison shop. Inside the prison, there is a store where you can buy mostly food, drinks, and cigarettes. Now, by default, they supply 3 meals per day. And for breakfast, inmates usually get biscuits with tea. At lunch, they get soup and a cooked meal. And then at dinner, they usually get some rice that has been cooked for too long. So since you made it this far into the video, we have a bonus for you guys. Because we know a lot of you are interested in this subject, the best prison conditions in Romania can be found in Timisoara. Because that is where convicts also get access to education. And they are allowed to actually work, depending on the detention regime that they are facing. As promised, we will also tell you where the Tate brothers are being held, and show you some pictures of the actual cells. You see, most of the people believe that the Tate brothers are in prison, but that is simply not the case. So you might be wondering, well, if they're not in jail, where do they keep them locked up? Well, it is actually easy to figure out. They keep them under arrest at the center of where the Capitol Police keep people in jail. You could say that the conditions there are a little better than in prison, which is good for them. But rats and cockroaches are still lurking there, even though at least it is not so crowded. Here are some pictures from the capital city's arrest center. So here are the pictures of the building from the outside. Here are the halls from the inside. And now here are the cells. And lastly, here are the toilets in the cells. So you can see that it is definitely not a place you would want to be. So, what do you think is in store for Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan? Do you think they will be able to get out soon? Or is the justice system in Romania finally giving them a taste of their own medicine? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time!